Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cardwell's Cauldron, produced by Geektopia Island here. I'm Cardwell.
And I'm Kevin.
And today, it was actually requested to make a deck around a certain card. I've done that. To be honest, sadly, there wasn't so much support for it, but I think I did pretty well for myself, I think. But we'll see. We'll get into it. And of course, everyone's going to roll their eyes at me. The name of the deck is called School of Hard Knocks. It's all about a wizard named Naban. And because, you know, wizards go to school, and knock is actually a spell in D&D. Yeah, I know. I spend too much time making up the names more than the decks usually. But
I'm just gonna let that be.
Just let's get going, shall we? Now, the start of the deck, why we made it, is Naban, Dean of Iteration. He's a 2-drop legendary wizard. He's a 2/1, which is kind of cool. If a wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, the ability triggers an additional time. He's extremely strong because it says ability of a permanent you already control that's already on the battlefield. Sadly, besides Panharmonicon, there's really nothing that I can do because I did blue-red because that's where all the wizards are, that's where the wizard spells are. Now, I was like looking through, was like monuments? No, they're cast abilities. You can't, they're not interplay abilities. So what we did is just got a bunch of little tiny wizards, and they're going to be doubling their stuff that they do, and hopefully you just get in by controlling the board with your dudes. That's pretty much what it is.
I'm right with it. Let's do it.
Alright, since we went with him, the first guy, of course he doesn't have a enter the play ability after I just said all that, but Siren Stormtamer, because he is just too good and too strong. He will protect all your other wizards that come in. He's a 1-drop, 1/1 flying wizard, Siren, pirate. And then you can pay 1 blue, sacrifice him to counter a target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control.
Yeah, this dude's too...
Like, this is like aggro into mid-range deck here, so you want to worry about Settle the Wreckage and stuff like that, singleton kills. Now tell us about this guy here.
Alright, so the next one we got is a Merfolk Trickster. It's a 2/2 for 2 blue. It's got flash,
yep. And
when the Merfolk Trickster comes into play, tap target creature an opponent controls, it loses all abilities until the end of turn.
Yes. So, remember Naban or Naban or however you want to say it. So that's 2 dudes down, tapped and control, so you can swing on in.
It's pretty good.
Also, before we get angry comments in the, just angry comments in general, Metallic Mimic. I read Naban, it does not trigger. So therefore, it's not in the deck.
Really?
Because the enter the play ability with counters is a replacement effect. It's not an actual enter the play ability. Sadly, you can look them up on Magic. I can't remember, Gatherer, I think that's what it's called. Looked at the rules. Unfortunately, Metallic Mimic does not work with this deck.
Sad. But yeah, if you need any more, just check out the Oracle text of them, it'll tell you.
Yeah. Now the next one, Champion of Wits. It's a Naga wizard, 3-drop, 2/1. Everyone pretty much knows what this card does, but when it comes in the battlefield, you draw equal to its power. So you draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. It does have Eternalize for later on to draw 4 cards, discard 2. With Naban, of course, you draw 4 on turn 3 and then discard 4, but that's everything you need for the next few turns.
Yeah,
you can set yourself up pretty well for it.
And it is a May ability, so you can trigger the first one if you want, and the second one you don't have to.
Exactly. Yeah, because it is separate trigger. So you're like this. You're like, I'm pretty good hand. I don't want to deal with mess this up or anything.
But it's always good to dig. So.
Yeah, and this is pretty much all 4 ofs in here because it's just like solid enter the play abilities. And this one, Ghitu Journeymage. It's a 3-drop, 3/2 wizard. He's kind of slightly weak, but with the combinations that we're doing here, when he enters the battlefield, if you enter with another, if you control another wizard, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. So that's 4 damage for 3 mana, and it's a 3/2, which is pretty cute.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Alright, so the last one we got is a Watertrap Weaver. It's a 2/2 for 3. It is another Merfolk wizard, and when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its next untap.
So If you see what you're getting here, you're literally controlling the board with your creatures and just swinging in each turn, if you can. If Naban sticks, then you're just controlling the board and winning. You're doing like 5 damage. Next turn, tap 2 dudes, go in for a 7. And then you just keep incrementing, like the damage keeps going up and up.
I like it so far.
Yeah.
It seems pretty hot.
It's a little solid. Like I said, aggro to mid-range depending on your hand.
Yeah.
Now for our support spells here, of course Negate. Because I was like, I have a 2 slot, I might as well put it in. It's counter, non-creature ability. Now there was a mage or a wizard in here that I put in that I removed to replace with Negate. It's the one that gives other wizards +1/+1. It has flash. It costs 4, but when it comes into play, you get to copy an instant sorcery spell you played this turn. It costs 4 to do that. I just feel like that's way too much mana for that's what you want to do.
Yeah, to get value out of that, you gotta pay like 6 mana. You're already having to cast another spell this turn.
Exactly. It's not worth it. That's why I removed it, just in case y'all are wondering about it.
Fair enough.
But the super secret tech of this deck, an old favorite of combo decks out there, Saheeli Rai. Cost 3. It's a level 3 planeswalker, or level 3. It gets 3 loyalty points. That's +1, not too bad. Scry 1, deal 1 damage to opponent. So if you're playing against control, cool, set up your thing. But the -2 ability, you create a token of a target artifact or creature you control, comes into play, it's an artifact addition to its other types, and it gains haste. That works with all your wizards come into play abilities with Naban, so you're just like...
Yeah, which you'll get double triggers on that dude.
Yeah, exactly. If you already have her on the field, you play the Journeymage, that's hopefully 4 damage, and then you do -2 on here. Boom, that's another 4 damage, that's 8 damage quickly.
Yeah.
Possibly on turn 4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot.
And that's where I was like, this deck can really work with her in it. That's why I have like 3 in the deck.
Yeah. Mostly you're never really going to get to her ult, but if you do, it's -7. You search your library for 3 artifacts with different names, put them into your battlefield, and then shuffle. But, I mean, that's not really a necessity.
No.
You're mainly copying dudes.
Exactly. And there is one artifact, but we'll save that for last.
Yeah.
It's silly.
Alright, and then we have to have the wizard spells because they go with them.
Yeah, they're just good.
So Wizard's Lightning is 3 mana, instant, and it costs 2 colorless less as long as you control a wizard. And it deals 3 damage to a target. So they finally changed it to it can hit whatever you need it to hit.
Exactly.
So it can target a planeswalker, you can target a creature, you can target a player. Just you choose the target.
Yeah, so you don't have to be all confused of new players. Be like, I target you, redirect it to the planeswalker, and they're like, I don't think that's how it works. It's like, yeah, that's how it works. But, it's a lightning bolt in standard, pretty much. And it will be, hopefully, while you have creatures on the field.
Yeah, it's just lightning bolt's good.
Yeah. And the other one, Wizard's Retort. It's literally just counterspell. Same thing, costs 2 blue and a colorless. If you control a wizard, costs 1 colorless less, counter target spell. Thank you.
I mean, all day counterspell was one of the best cards in old Magic.
Yeah.
Still is. And for the same mana in this, great.
It's just good. It's just good, cheap counter.
And the best part is you can have a Stormtamer in play and then still have the wizard trigger on this because the Stormtamer is a wizard. So you have 3 blue to counter 2 spells all day.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good. Now this one, Vanquisher's Banner. It's a silly artifact. No one uses it. If you play in Arena, they use it for vampires mostly. But I thought one of this maybe because it helps you trigger with Naban. So we'll go with it. Costs 5. Ugh. But enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type. Wizard. Creatures you control get chosen type gets +1/+1 bonus, and whenever you cast a creature that spell that type, you draw a card. So with Naban, you get 2 cards because it's interplayability. Oh, it's not. I apologize. It is a cast.
Yeah,
but
it's not that.
So we might remove it. See, I was like super excited to be all this. Not as cool as I thought. Still a 1-of. I'm still gonna play with it because you draw cards.
Yeah, you're still going to draw a lot of cards.
+1/+1. If anything, just remove it as sideboard.
Mm-hmm.
That is my bad on that one.
It's alright, it's alright.
I was like, so many artifacts out there. None of them deal with creatures in a battlefield type.
Alright, so the lands are pretty simple. We got 4 Spirebluff Canals.
Yep.
We have 4 Sulfur Falls, 7 mountains, and 8 islands.
Yep, just 23 land. Done. That's all. There you go. You can add your special deserts if you want, or special lands, but you know, depending on the meta around you.
Yeah.
And now with the sideboard, just, you know, sideboard's so vast nowadays. Here's a little quick rundown of what you can do. Of course, it's easy to change this up. With this, like I said, aggro to mid-range, your sideboard's going to be dealing with mostly control. But if not, here we go. Magma Spray costs, you know, 1 drop, exile target. It deals 2 damage to target creature. If it died this turn, exile it instead. That's against mono red, and around here vehicles are still a thing, so you want to get rid of heap scroungers.
Yeah,
for sure. The next one is Essence Scatter. Cost 2, counter target creature spell for when you're going up against mid range. Pretty much simple as that.
We got 2 more negates.
Yep,
because it's just good.
It's just good against control.
To help with the negates, we got 2 disallows for 3 mana counter target spell, activate ability, or trigger ability.
Yep.
Great.
Just in case you have to deal with trigger abilities. Now this one, Sweltering Suns. When you're going against token decks, because those are all the rage nowadays as well. So, like, if you're on the back foot, you're going second, token decks and mono red aggro, this is what it's for. Just get rid of them. Done.
3 damage to all creatures. Do it.
That's all it is. And it has cycling, just in case.
Yeah.
And this one, Hour of Devastation, which is kind of a weird thing, but when you're facing a Teferi and a Lyra on the battlefield, you kind of just want to just get them out, both of them.
Yeah.
And I made sure with the Teferi, he starts out 4, so it goes up to 5. So when they're like, Lyra, next turn, Teferi, hopefully they don't have a counter, so you're just like, Hour of Devastation. Like, let's just reset this whole thing. Because you don't want that to get out of control.
Yeah, but Hour of Devastation is 5 mana sorcery.
Yep.
All creatures lose indestructible. And it deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker.
Yep. So it's kind of just like a helpy card. Just like, oh, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works.
I like the deck. I think it's pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah, straightforward, solid. That's how I like to really make decks like this. I love creatures that deal with their creatures. And it's just my favorite. When you have creatures that control their creatures, you don't have to worry about spells that much. And then you can just keep punching them in the face.
Yeah, and having 7 dudes that can lock down 14 dudes is pretty good to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Tap those dudes.
Just tap them dudes. And the other one, the lose abilities, oh, that dude's not indestructible anymore, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a shot at your locals.
So, with the request, I hope you like it. I'll probably actually build this up for the next week of the Brawls and see how this goes. And if they're doing a reset for MTG Arena, so I'll probably wait until that happens to actually build this deck and see how it goes. And with that, thank you for joining here at Geektopia Island. The deck list will be down below, and hopefully you enjoyed your stay.
Later.
Bye. Be sure to like and comment on the video, and to get our latest and greatest, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. And to get notifications, there's also a little bell that you can hit. Now, if you want to look at some old deck tech videos, go ahead and click to the right. And if you want to see them in action, click the videos below. Thank you.